Trisbrina Show. All right, Ageless Mobility, Ageless Flexibility, Part 2. We got rave reviews. We got amazing comments. The feedback was coming through.
Encore, encore, encore is what they
We
said.
want more. Bring it. So we're bringing
flexibility.
We have another wonderful flexibility test for you today. A couple of cool moves that you're going to love putting into your mind-body toolbox. And this is the Trisbrina Wellness Show. We've had an upgrade.
Trisbrina Wellness Show.
That's right. Welcome, everyone. I see you coming in. Coming in hot. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Ron. Hello, Lisa, Leslie, Mary, Kathy, Debbie. Woo.
Come on in.
Come on down. We've got the cleaning happening in the neighborhood. I don't know if you can hear that, but
that's what Tristan calls gardeners.
They're cleaning.
They're cleaning.
The cleaners.
Cleaning the lawn.
Lawn cleaners.
Yeah, so last week we did Ageless Flexibility Part 1, and people loved that we did a flexibility test. Then just a little bit of joint mobility, a little bit of ageless flexibility, and then seeing how much more flexible we got after just a couple exercises.
Right.
And many of you took advantage of our little special that we're doing for our program called Martial Yoga Movement Medicine. And for 1 week only, you can get 50% off the already discounted price.
Write that coupon down right now. Save it for later when we reveal the special link.
That's the coupon code.
That's right. All right. So you got some fun moves for us today? You going to take us through some ageless flexibility?
I think we're going to do it together.
Are we?
Yeah, Rama Lama Lama.
Like we do it all together?
Yeah, you guys
How
know
does
that
that go,
song?
the Ram Lama Lama?
We go together like Rama Lama Lama. Ka-ding-a-ding-a-ding.
Ka-dinky-dinky-dong.
Remember forever like shubba.
Ka-dinky-dinky-dong. Yeah, I'm just learning how to do this. Ka-dinky-dinky-dong.
Hello, Leslie and Elise and Deborah. Welcome. And Lisa?
Yeah, the question is, what is the special link? Is that it? That's the one we used last time, isn't it? So here's your link. This is to get all the goodness.
That takes you right to Martial Yoga Movement Medicine, which is a lot of joint mobility. And there's the coupon code. There's a couple more days that will work for you.
Yeah, jot it down.
Yeah.
So satorymyth.com/happy joints, and it's Happy Joints 2021.
Yeah, Ron, I saw you grabbed a copy.
Oh, very cool. Coolio.
All right.
So let's do it.
So today, today's not a day for sitting and watching. Today's a day for getting up, not sitting on your ass, getting up on your feet. We're going to do a flexibility test.
Where does this voice come from?
And then we're going to show you some magic moves. Magic Mike will show you a few. And then we're going to do the test again, see if you can raise your grade.
Raise your grade. Okay. So we are going to work on our hamstrings. We're going to work on our hips. We're going to work a little bit on the full spine. And what we want to improve is your level of flexibility down to your toes. So I don't know if you've ever been able to touch your toes. Some of us can do that already. Some of us can't do that at all. So we're going to just do a little test together, you and I. And I know you're super Gumby flexible. So you'll have to...
Not so much that direction.
No? Okay. We'd love to know, can you touch your toes? Maybe you need to get up and find out.
And we don't mean like,
Yeah, we don't mean like, pick your leg up and touch your toe. We mean, can you, from a standing position, roll down? And that's a nice test.
Even with the knees flexed, can you bend over and tie your shoes?
So that's a really nice test to check your spine and hamstring flexibility. And yep, you get to get off your arses. So let's jump right into the routine, shall we?
We shall.
And then we'll have a little chat about why this is important to do. Okay.
Right. Get up. Get off your bums.
Off the bum. Okay. So it's simple. You just stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. And if you're not super flexible, please don't try to touch your toes. Just play with the level of flexibility you have right now.
Above, you can make markers like right above the knee, right below the knee, halfway between the knee and the ankle. Just try to remember where you touched.
So the back of the legs can get tight. This is your hamstrings. And when those get tight, oftentimes they can cause the lower back to feel tight because there's a shortening of that muscle and that tissue.
Which could give you a funny posture.
Could cause your posture to lean.
And get a poochy pooch.
It can affect definitely the tummy. It can compress on the back. So we want to have some length through here. So we're going to help you with that today. Also your spine, right? Spinal flexibility. Spine is sort of like the highway to your youth. It's why the yogis spend so much time working on flexibility of their spine. So the information highway for the prana or the chi to flow through obviously is moving through that spine, so we want to open that up as well. All right, so here's our test. I would lightly bend the knees just a little, and then place your hands on your thighs and use a little bit of support, especially if you haven't done this for a while, and slide down slow. Now, don't worry too much about your head right now.
Above the knee, good.
We're going to do this a couple of times, and then just notice where your fingertips end. Okay, so maybe that's it for you. See if you can let your head go. And also notice the flexibility of your head and your upper back, and then come back up. If you need to, you can walk yourself back up. Now, everyone's at different levels of health and fitness. Some of you might be able to just drop right down and, do a handstand. That's awesome. Just check your level. So we're going to go just a couple times. This time, let your head go more. And just see where it hangs. All right?
And how it feels as you hang.
Yes, how do you feel? Where do you feel the tightness? We're not doing this. We're not reaching down and grabbing the back of the legs and trying to pull.
Why don't we show from the side once?
We're not trying to pull. Well, I don't want to bop heads.
I will go back here.
We want to be the same for the...
We want to be the same.
Back up just a little. So now we'll go. Just don't bop my head. So we're not pulling and trying to stretch and bounce. We're just testing the hang.
Test the hang.
So I notice I am pretty tight from lifting weights and doing squats. How were you? How'd you do? In your butt?
In my butt.
Okay. So we're going to go with a fan favorite from last week to help open up the pelvis. And there's a reason you want that Elvis pelvis. We want to open it up so that actually the body, when we start doing some of the other exercises, the pelvis will open up and allow us to bend lower.
Yep.
So she's doing a little Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah, I find that shifting my weight from side to side, so you can see my hip weight is over one leg and then it's over another. When I do that, I really feel my lower back release.
So this is going into the outer hip. There's a bone here, that big round bone at the top of the femur is called the greater trochanter, and you're pushing that bone out like you're going to bop somebody on the side with that.
Oh, it just popped.
There you go.
We call this the Farrah Fawcett stretch. If you ever saw her poster
I'd say
in
you have
a
that
red
posture pretty good there.
one-piece swimsuit. My brother had it on the back of his closet door.
You can do it as Sabrina turned it out a little, or you can just do it straight to the side as well. Okay? All right, now what we're going to do is the fan favorite is the hips going around, but try to get that outer bone to roll out to the side, and then roll your booty to the back, to the side, and then bring your hips to the front. Okay, so these are pelvis or hip circles. You want to go both ways.
Do you remember last week we said your spine is a stick, and on one end of the stick is your tailbone, and on one end is your head, so you keep them in opposite places, right? Head forward, tailbone back, tailbone here, head here, and around. And the knees are soft the entire time. So you could think that your hips are creating tracing the diameter of a circle, the circumference of a circle that you're standing in the middle of here.
Love it. Okay. Now we're going to move on, and we're going to put the hips in place. And we're going to hold our power posture and
relax the knees.
Imagine the lower body is pretty much stabilized. It's not going to move. Think of it like a flower pot, and everything above your belt line up, the stalk of a tree or a plant growing out of the pot. And we're going to move the stalk. So your spine is going to move as one unit.
It's windy.
Round and round. See the difference? We're not moving the hips now. We're going into that base, And we're moving the base and all the way up.
It's all about that base.
All about that base. You might want to place your hands on your thighs or on your hips for stability.
And it might feel a little odd. This isn't something you do much in your day-to-day life.
Go the other way.
Which is maybe why you're stiff.
The body loves functional movement, circular functional movement in multiple directions. So you're creating a 360-degree circle. You want to go all the way around and try to make it as round as possible. Maybe you're noticing, oh, I'm a little tight on this side, but I'm more open here. See if you can breathe through the tight spots. Now here's something to remember while you're doing these ageless mobility moves that will lend themselves to flexibility. The sky hook. You want to imagine that not only is this stabilized down here and it's circling, but it's lengthening, like you're growing up to the sun. Okay?
It's like a pull.
Yes. It's a long spine.
So as you're moving, you're keeping as much space between the vertebrae as possible because you're sinking down and pulling up. So the circles aren't causing a contraction and you don't feel tighter. You feel looser. You're creating more space.
So we've done our farrah fawcett. We've done our hips round and round like we're in a barrel. And now we've stabilized our base and we've moved the stalk round and round in both directions. Okay? Now we're going to go from like the top of the chest, or bottom rather, of the chest up all the way through the neck. So think of your cervical spine from the base of your skull down through your shoulders. And if Sabrina would turn for a moment. Thank you, my dear. We're thinking of here all the way down to about right in the middle of the back. Okay, this whole section, we're going to move it around slowly. We're going to stir the stew. So your head will still be long. You can place your hands here. If you've got pockets, you can just put your thumbs in your pockets for stability. And watch what we're doing. We're moving the head, the neck, and that whole upper. So before we were doing down in the base, imagine the base has moved up to here now. And you can feel the articulation of that upper part of the spine starting to move more. You might get a couple of little adjustments. Don't let the head go so much that you're trying to do like what we call bobblehead. Keep the head long. And here's what's happening. The weight of the head long is pulling the spine into the stretch. Does that make sense? So if she turns around again, and I'll show you, she'll just do bobblehead. You got a lot of hair, my dear.
Wait, bobblehead? Oh, just do this.
That's just up. Okay, thank you. That's plenty. See how she's just rolling the cervical spine? This time she's going to keep this long here, and it's the weight of the head and the connection is going to get into here. See that? All in here. And a little bit in the front of your sternum. Thank you. Okay, let's make sure you've gone both ways for this. People don't often move this. They'll do this, shoulder shrugs. They'll do this with their head, and maybe you'll get a little bobble. But that right in there, that's going to make a big difference.
Right in there.
Because remember, we're going to go down to the floor even deeper in a minute. But we're not ready to do the test yet. One more move. We're going to open our feet a little bit wider than shoulders. You can put a hand on your thigh for stability if you want. You're going to take your opposite arm and hand, and we're going to reach down and bend a little and touch the knee, and just lift your arm up and stretch. And do that a couple of times. You see how we're not going super deep. Now, maybe we'll go a little bit more and touch our shin. And now we'll start letting the head go with it. Shin, we'll look down to the feet. Hey, maybe you have more flexibility coming on. See if you can touch the instep. Now what's nice about this move is we're not going straight down and really having to lengthen the spine. It's that crossing the center line of the body that allows the spine to open up faster. Let's do a couple more. Bend the knees ever so slightly, reach back up, and see if you can go down all the way to the toes. Let the head go. All right, it's time to switch sides. touching the knee. Reach up.
If
Arch
you
back a
needed
little.
support, you could leave your hand right here on your leg.
Maybe touch the shin. See if you can let your head go a little bit. Come on up. Work towards the toes or slide down the shin. Let's do one more.
Feels so good.
Everything feels good, doesn't it? Good. Now you probably felt that a little bit in the back of your hamstrings. Here's what we're going to do now. We're going to stretch up really tall. Reach, reach, reach to the stars. Let your elbows float down. And now we're going to go back to our test.
This is the test.
Let your head go and flow down. Sit your butt down a little and slowly roll up. Probably found that you went a lot further.
Oh yeah, more comfortable too.
Now, yes, we stretched a little bit just by hanging the body forward. But what we want to notice is by doing small, gentle circles, we're stimulating all of the tissues, we're unwinding tension, we're training the brain that it's safe by not forcing and doing these hardcore moves that make the hamstrings get tighter or make the spine get tighter. We're gently brushing up against flexibility through mobility.
Let's go this way again.
Let's do it. Wait, we're going to go up. Arch.
You need to give me the martial arts thing.
Oh yeah. Roll down. Let it all go.
Oh yeah.
Now shake it free a little. And roll up. Whew. Now there's something incredible about stretching your spine. Hi. Come on. You feel really awake, alert, and more present because the spine is the information highway of the chi, of the life force, and all the nerves that are communicating between the brain and the body. Doesn't that feel so lovely? So we'll do a quick review in a minute.
Thank you, Barbara. I just saw her comment.
So what I see here is some comments coming through that felt really good.
Yeah.
And that your outfit is magnificent. I will agree with that. So what have we got going on here? We did that side to side to open up the outer part of the hip and push that greater trochanter out and opening up the pelvis a little bit that way. And then we did those hip circles, right? Unwinding some of the tension in the hips. When the hips are tight, they're affecting the energy flow in the spine. And
I have to say, I got, just from doing the Farrah Fawcett and the hip circles, I felt probably 3 adjustments.
I got 2 adjustments in the back of my legs, actually.
Mine were in my spine.
You know, I find that, I don't know about you guys, but we work a lot and we're sitting at computers and people are sitting a lot more than they ever have. And so the hips get a lot of compression. The joints, think about your sits bones, the top of the femur, they're sitting on chairs all, a lot. We need to get them moving. So the circles of the hips are a great way to mobilize that without forcing a stretch. Then what did we do? Then we started to mobilize the spine, stirring the stew, that stalk, moving that stalk around. That's unblocking the chi. Then we went into the upper part of the neck and the upper torso. We didn't do bobblehead. We used the whole articulation, right? Again, unlocking the energy flow a little bit for the tissues. Then what we did was we started to cross the center line. This is important. You're not forcing the forward stretch. You're going across it. The body's more flexible when you cross the center line. Slowly, one by one, the knee, the shin, the foot, if possible. Reaching up, opening, extending the shoulders, lengthening the energy up, 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 both sides. Then back down to the spine. Once you've got that and you've mobilized, then you should stretch. So now, and I know we'll be a little bit, why don't we come back together? Now, this is the perfect time to do things like this, where you're holding the legs and pulling. That's stretching. That's very different than mobility. See how this is so much easier? And if it's easier, the brain is more likely to encourage you to do it, versus a lot of times people don't want to stretch because stretching feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Stretching hurts.
Yeah, your brain says don't do that. I love
Yeah.
a couple of the comments coming in from like Barbara. She said it so well. She says, love the gentle stimulation and the sneak up on me improvement.
It's a sneaky approach. Hello, Mr. Mark Roche.
Mark Roche.
Almost your birthday, my friend. Great to see you, buddy. Isn't this cool, though? So I love what you just said, the sneak up, right?
Barbara said it.
Barbara, I love what you said. Sneak up on it.
Sneak up on me improvement.
That's good. I'm going to borrow that. So we wanted to continue to present helpful tools to keep your spine healthy. And if I could just share something that came through this morning in our Life Force classes, we have ongoing regular classes for students. And we're talking about all of these moves that we do, right? We do Qigong, we tap the body, we try to circulate the Qi, we stretch. Today, I don't have it here, we were using a foam roller and a massage stick, right? We were doing all these really cool things to open up the physical body, to get the tissues to stay young and healthy. This is the massage stick. We were having our way with it. And the foam roller. So we did a whole series on the floor back here. If you're in the dojo, the Life Force Mastery Dojo, you got to participate in that, or you'll get the replay. And this, showing you different ways of rolling the tissues, how to like put it between your legs, and just all kinds of cool stuff you can do. But here was the takeaway. It's so awesome to live in a happy, healthy body.
That's for sure.
You're not distracted by your body, right? When you give it the time to heal and to be vibrant. But there was more to it than that. We talk about our system, Satori, based on the acronym SATORI. And S being that stimulating of the physical tissues and strengthening them too. Of course, we do some weight training, bands and resistance. Then A, getting into activating the internal body, the channels, the flow of the blood, the Qi.
Mm-hmm.
S and A lead you to T, which is that ability afterwards to tap in and just be present to yourself. And the biggest takeaway that's happening for me right now in my life of using my body to help me tap in is that there's an intelligence inside that knows what to do. And we were talking about this morning in the kitchen, and maybe you can riff on it in a minute, but there's a lot of people who are trying to figure out the next goal. We're looking at other things to say, oh, I want to do what they're doing. Or I want to figure out how to, model that. But what if all the modeling was actually inside, like we talked about, the inner being has so much intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
And it can literally show you the vision of what you want, not necessarily what other people are saying you need.
Yep. And we were saying how these internal practices that we do, well, actually external to internal, the Qigong,
what we just did,
the ageless mobility, the moving meditation, giving the mind a job in some way so the brain can rest.
Right.
Like, you've got to give that higher intelligence. You've got to give your innermost being. You've got to give your intuition, the genius of your soul, some airtime.
Yeah.
If you want to get the guidance, if you want to get the ideas, if you want to get the information, even if you want to commune. And I think so many people struggle, I know that I have, with not having the right channel on. I'm so busy on all the other channels that I don't pause to listen, but I don't even know how to pause anymore. And that's why these meditative practices, these getting the body into alignment so it's not a distraction, the breathing exercises that we teach, Qigong, so that at the end of the practice, I'm not saying during, it's like during the practice, I focus on the technique.
Yeah.
I give the mind a job. It's like, it's all busy. You stop. All we're going to think about is lifting that wrist. That's it.
Yeah.
And then that's when there's this waterfall of incredible ideas and incredible insights that they're just going to feel like thoughts. It's just going to be like, I had the greatest thought. after I did that movement. It's like, no, that's what other people would like claim. Oh, I have the download. Okay, you call it download. You can call it a thought. You can have it an insight, however you want to call it. But you have to give it airtime. You've got to give a pause.
Right.
You know, if the show is always running, there's no room for the show, the real show, for God to show you the intelligence.
I love it. It's the truth. I have noticed there are times in my life where I feel a bit of a bottleneck because there's a lot going on and I'm trying to do a lot or get a lot done. And then as soon as I start putting myself in that state, that mental and physical state, I start to lose my creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I start to lose my access to some of the best stuff that ever comes through is when I'm out of the way. You guys probably have the exact same thing. You're just in flow state and you're like, whoa, that was really cool. I love the way that I said that or did that. If I'm too busy, if I'm too off that aligned place, I feel like I'm pushing. I'm forcing. I'm trying to be intelligent. I'm trying to come up with something good to say. I'm trying. And I don't enjoy it.
And if I can feel like a phony.
Yeah.
In
You're
those,
off your
in those
game.
moments
You're
when
just
I'm
off your game.
trying, like even, we're like, oh my gosh, they loved part 1, Ageless Flexibility. We got so many emails. So like people are like, that really helped me. And we're like, it is just like 3 little moves. It helped so much. We're going to do a part 2.
It's the way that we.
But we have to, And it was giving the test. But even just to come up with how to help you now with your hamstrings, it's an excitement, but it's also like a relaxation so that the guidance can be there and the intelligence can be there, not just like, oh, let's see, what can we come up with? It feels different.
I'm loving the comments. Thank you so much, Claire. I love what you're saying about the reset and that you're hooking onto your airwaves. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There's thank you for this. Kathy says, I agree to Beth. Beth was saying, you guys are always delivering such great stuff. She says, always helping and guiding so much with awesome knowledge.
That's awesome.
Elise said, I love how much my hamstrings feel so warm and loose now.
Yeah.
And isn't that nice? We didn't have to force it.
You know, and those of you who are certified in our Qigong programs, whether it's the flow form or good morning, good evening, these are nice little things that you can do with your class before you start taking them through some other things. Like you can call it a warm up. So, because it's a proof for them. There's proof that what you're about to teach works because you have them do a test, you show them a little bit of movements, and then the test again. You know, I shared something on my personal Facebook page yesterday, and it was a cat video, basically. But it was so much more than a cat video. It was a cat with their owners, and it was showing how loving that these cats were. And I went and edited my post this morning because I thought, like, why did I share that? Like, why did I watch it 5 times and then show it to my dad and my mom, Tristan, right? And it's like, why did I share that? And I realized it wasn't just this innocence of the cat, that the cat's nature was, these cats were hugging and kissing and smooching. It was so sweet. It was the human being that was with them being just as loving and just as sweet and so touched by being loved by their little cat.
It was really beautiful.
And then I said in my post that Tristan has asked me, can you love me like a dog? Because he sees the way I am with our dogs and how I always assume they don't want to be bad. I always am like, well, they didn't mean that. And I always stand up for them. And
that sounds about right.
I don't want to, I'm just like, love, love, love. I want them to feel loved first thing in the morning. I want them to feel loved all the time. And doing this exercise today and moving these movements. Yeah, he's like, can you like assume I don't want to be bad? Can I stop getting in trouble?
I didn't mean to be bad.
And when we were doing these exercises, we were talking about taking care of the body. I actually had a little insight in that moment because I ended that Facebook post saying, may I see the kitty cat inside of all the people that I judge more harshly than I do the animals. But what if we can see the kitten in ourselves. Like, what if I could see that beauty that I see in that kitten and the beauty that I see in that person being loved by the kitten and myself, and from that sweet, delicate place, take care of my body and love my body without judgment of, you should be more flexible, you should be more stiff. And that was really beautiful, because it's so easy for me to love the innocent things outside, but much more challenging to see myself as that tender and cute and sweet and loving.
I like what Claire said to you. She said,
What?
"Can I please have a basket to live in here? You can come over and be a kitten at our house." I think Sabrina takes very good care of all the animals.
Well, we did this quiz, and the quiz was, if you could come back as a dog. Oh, it was Perry Belcher. Perry Belcher, a marketing friend of ours, he said, if you could, in your next life, be any dog that you want, what breed would you come back as? And Tristan said, Sabrina's dog.
You want to be Sabrina's dog, that's for sure. You'll get your ears combed, you'll get your vitamins, you'll get the freshest food in the world, you'll get baths, you'll go on walks, you'll get
my pillow.
You'll get pillows all over the house. You can lay wherever you want. You're never bad. I mean, it's like Shangri-La, I tell you what. It looks like you got a few others that want to move in too.
As it should be.
Well, let's all be the kittens. I want to finish our show today with what Elise just shared here. I love this. I love to surrender to the divine within. And when I don't, I'm instantly out of alignment. And isn't that great that we feel the separation so that we notice,
Yep.
Oh, I'm off. That's what this wellness show is all about, is it's the alignment to wellness, and wellness on all levels, right? Within this physical body temple, wellness within this beautiful mind that wants to be of service and truly align to the source of all that is. Full of wellness experience, holistic wellness in all ways.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were saying right before the show today how we should tell people that Dr. Oz says if you want to live to be 100, do Qigong. And Elise just sent us Michael Beckwith's. He's, if you don't know him, he's
a
an
reverend.
Amazing reverend for Agape Church. And then last Sunday, he was saying you should be doing physical movements like yoga and Qigong, because that health, he said health is your connection to God, but healing is like getting rid of all the stuff that you don't want so that you can just be in God. And that's what Qigong really helps you to do. So I loved that she shared
Think
that.
about how many of us have come closer to divine connection because our bodies were the wake-up call. That's 100% my story. And for others, it's been feelings of separate emotional states.
But even with emotions, for me, anxiety, I end up feeling it in my body.
That's true. Yeah, they go hand in hand, don't they? All right, kiddos. It's time.
It's so fun to hang out with you guys on a Thursday.
On a Thursday. Trisbrina,
No.
we added wellness.
Oh, I got it.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Here it comes.
Trisbrina Wellness Show. Wake up and flow.
Ooh, I like it.
You do it.
Trisbrina Wellness Show.
On a Thursday. Wake up and flow.
I'll practice. Much love, everybody. Have an incredible rest of your Thursday. See some of you in class. Oh, can we now cake? It's too soon.
We should give some cake.
Okay, I have some cake I can
No,
give. You
no,
talk.
no, you can't.
No, give a
can't give
thingy. Whoa.
Okay. So we're doing an energy expansion event. That's what we've always called it. It's going to kick off in like a week and a few days. And we're doing something super cool. And we hope you'll tell all your friends about it when we have a link for you to share it with them. We're going to give every single person that registers to attend the 5 days of free training with us, where we're going to do Qigong, we're going to do ageless mobility, we're going to do meditation, and I think think for the first time ever, we're going to show the public outside of the dojo what Qigong Strong is, because no one's ever seen it outside of the dojo. And everyone who registers is going to get an entire Qigong course that we're filming this weekend. And it's going to be called Dun Dun Dun.
Oh, you want me to get that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's called Dun Dun Dun.
Dun Dun Dun. Qigong for beginners. So this is a perfect thing for you to share with anyone that's like, what are you doing? You seem happy, you seem good. Or if you're a certified instructor, really good to get some of your potential clients. This will be a lot of fundamentals so that you can take them further. But everyone that registers for the 5-day event is going to get a copy of that to keep forever and ever. And we're super excited to be able to provide that, because just like tonight on the Trisbrina Show, we gave you guys an experience of more flexibility, so it's no longer a belief. So it starts July 20th, which is a Tuesday. It'll go Tuesday through Saturday. Like I said, there'll be Qigong, happy, healthy back, ageless mobility, Qigong Strong, meditation. Every day we'll focus on a different modality, and we will get you the link, I hope, like in the next
just a day or
or
two.
so.
Yep.
And then please share it with everyone. This is our big give of the year. It's his birthday.
That's right. It's my birthday gift to y'all's. Okay.
Oh, and if you want a copy of Martial Yoga, you can still get it for 50% off the already discounted price. Remember, coupon code Happy Joints 2021 if you want to grab one. It's a really good course. It's 7 minutes laying down on the floor, 7 minutes sitting on the floor, and 7 minutes standing.
Voila.
Wow, that was a lot of cake. I need a digestive enzyme.
Bye, everyone.